everybody on what is a blooming hot day. So my last video, when I said summer's over, autumn's here, I lied. Anyway, today I am taking you with me because I am on a little bit of a mission to find some blackberries, because I'm going to make a video about a blackberry and apple crumble. Well, not about it, I'm going to make it and show you how to make it as well, because I haven't done a baking video in a really long time. Oh, walking and talking, it's not my strong point. And so I thought that a blackberry and apple crumble is a really good thing to do because it's summery, it's got blackberries in it, and it's kind of autumnal as well. So, and also because blackberries are supposedly out at the moment, but I've never picked them before in my village, so I need to find a spot where I can find them so that I can, you know, not buy them from Sainsbury's. So I thought we'd bring you with me on my little adventure and see if we can find any blackberries. I found an actual blackberry and I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. Right, one down, about 70 to go. Okay, so I've now successfully picked my blackberries, and now I have to do that thing where you walk home and you look like you're carrying dog poo, but actually it's just a bag of blackberries. And I'm going to go to the orchard and see if there are any apples there. So I ran out of space in my bag, so I've had to kind of fill my pockets, which now looks really weird, but successfully got all my ingredients. Amazing! So we are now in my kitchen again. So for this particular crumble, I'm going to be making a kind of crumble for two. I'm going to say I mean, it could be a crumble for one. Totally depends how hungry you are and how greedy you're feeling. And so for that size dish, I have used 3 of the apples that I picked. And they're kind of just normal sized apples. They're not cooking apples, they're just apples that grow on a tree. And so I have chopped those up into a saucepan, and I have also added the blackberries. Now I have used all of the blackberries that I picked because I love blackberries. So what I've done is I've washed all of these and popped them in my saucepan, and I'm also on top of this just going to add a spoonful of sugar because these apples are very sour. If you get like supermarket Cox's apples or Pink Ladies, you probably don't need to add that sugar, but because these are kind of natural tree apples, I'm going to add some sugar. So I'm just going to put 1 kind of tablespoonful over the top. I also then don't add any water to the saucepan. There we go. Because there's so much juice that comes out of the apples that you don't actually want any excess liquid. So I leave that as it is. And then what I do is I pop this on the hob and I put it on a really low heat and I leave it to simmer, because you just want the apples to soften and the blackberries to go into kind of like a squelchy, yeah. While that's on the hob behind me, I have in this bowl got the crumble ingredients. Now I use the measurements that my mum gave me for crumble recipes, and it works then for any size crumble that you need. Now I only have the measurements for this in ounces, but I will convert it down below in the description into grams because I'm aware that not every weighing scale has ounces, but the formula is 4 ounces of flour to 2 ounces of butter and sugar. So that then works for 6 ounces of flour to 3 ounces of butter and sugar, and then 8 ounces of flour. So you see where I'm going with this? You use half the amount of butter and sugar depending on how much flour you're using. So now what you need to do is you need to put the flour and the butter in the same bowl, and then you need to give your hands a really, really, really good wash. You also, as I always forget to say, need to preheat your oven. I do it on about 150, but you can do it on whatever heat you want really. It can be whatever you feel like at the time. So, in your bowl, you then need to get a little bit messy, and you need to put your hands in and start doing a little bit of, you know. I should also mention that you should have very cold butter for that, because if your butter is even the slightest bit warm, it makes it so hard to do. But basically you want to be left with kind of breadcrumbs, and at this point you can also add some oats if you've got any, because that can make a really nice crust on crumble. I don't have any oats, so I ain't using any. And at this stage you now need to add your sugar as well. So tap that in there and then just give it a good stir around. Now meanwhile your fruit should be all lovely and soft. Make sure you keep on giving it a stir. And now you want to just pop your fruit into your utensil. Oh my goodness, that really does fit very perfectly. I'm rather impressed with myself, I'm not going to lie. So now that your fruit is in your bowl, you simply need to spoon on your crumble. Lie, but this all fits pretty perfectly, and as you are spooning on your crumble, give it a really good push down with the back of your spoon. There we have it. Crumble is ready to go into the oven, so I leave it in the oven, I think for about 40 minutes, but I really do play it by, I was going to say ear, definitely by eyes. I use my eyes. What I tend to do is I wait until the crumble on top has just gone a tiny bit golden. You really don't want it to be brown because that means it's burnt. And you might see some juices kind of bubbling up at the edges from the fruit. That kind of means it's done. And now here's another thing that hasn't happened for a little while. The baking dance. I'm not gonna lie guys, pretty sure I broke my toe during that baking dance. Really very painful. But anyway, about 40 minutes later, the crumble is out of the oven. It's got a little bit of leakage going on, I'm not gonna lie. So there you are, be very careful, it's very hot. And actually with a crumble, I find it's nicer to not eat it when it's boiling hot. I mean, a lot of food is nice when it's not boiling hot, obviously, but I kind of like to bake it a good hour before I'm going to eat it because then it just gives it time to stay warm. Believe me, it really stays warm. And the excellent thing about a crumble is that you can put it in the fridge and eat it the next day as well. There you go. There's your crumble recipe. Done. Autumn sorted. So I am going to try and do some more baking things over autumn, even though I'm so hot right now because it is this like ridiculous heat wave in England. I don't think it's here tomorrow, I think it's raining tomorrow, so you know, this is the last day of sun, which, you know, I did say last week, I'm aware of that, but you know, I mean it this time, it is the last day of sun. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video, I hope that you look forward to seeing a few more baking things, and I hope you try the crumble, it's so blooming easy. But as always, I have written the recipe down below as well, if you want to just be like, you know what, let's just pause that woman on the video and just read the recipe. Because, you know, I like to give people the option. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again soon. Bye!